I'm going to teach you about a concept called debouncing. And in this specific video, I'm using Vue.js as my framework to teach you how you can do debouncing on inputs. We do debouncing on search inputs or text inputs or wherever you want that feature. So I think first I should go to google.com and just show you guys what debouncing actually means. So currently I'm on google.com's homepage. I'm going to type something in the search box. Let's type something. How to make. Okay, I misspelled how. How to make. If you can notice, there is a delay between your last key press and the search results, the suggestions. Okay, let me delete the make keyword, and you see there will be a slight delay between it shows the uh, updated results. See that? I'll continue pressing the delete key, and you see there is a delay. If I smash my keyboard like this and I stop, you see there is a delay. Whoa, whoa, whoa song. Okay, and now I'm gonna press the backspace and stop. It's gonna show me the results. So there is a delay which is being coded there on purpose. Why do we debounce? So let's say how to make coffee. Okay, as soon as I search something, it sends a call to the server to get the suggestions. Obviously, all of these suggestions are not there on the front end. They're being fetched from the server. But if I'm playing like this, and on every key press, it's going to send a call, right? It's going to send a call to the server searching for something and getting the suggestions. But if I'm doing this, it's going to load the server with unnecessary calls. Okay? So what debouncing does is debouncing detects whether the user has stopped typing. As soon as the debouncing feature sees that okay, the user stopped smashing or pressing the keys, it sends a call to the server, which prevents useless and unnecessary calls on each key pressed. It's that simple. How to make an ice cream. As soon as stop in cream, on the word cream, it's going to send the API call to the server, right? And get the recommendation, or we can say the filtered search results and stuff like that. So that's how debouncing works. That's the definition of debouncing. Now we are going to have an input, and we're going to debounce the input, and you guys will see how we're going to do that. So first of all, I have this blank project on Code Sandbox. It's in Vue.js. I'm going to close this because I don't need this. And this is an empty page. I'm going to start by defining an input here. A simple plain HTML input. This HTML input, it's input, not input. This HTML input tag is going to take some input from the user or some string or something. Doesn't matter what it is. It depends on the use case. I'm going to model it. I'm going to say search, and I'm going to define it here. I hope you guys know the basics of Vue.js because you guys need to understand what's happening here. I'm going to bind it with the search variable. It's going to be an empty string initially, and I'm going to save it. It will reflect here on the right side. Let me refresh this. Okay, so this is our input. It's going to take some input, and what I'm going to do is I am going to display this search here. But wait a second, why am I doing it with vmodel? Let's do it using the input listener. Input listener. At input, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say handle input. Okay, handle input is a function which is going to fire as soon as I type inside this input. and down here I'm going to define the methods, and in the methods I'm going to say handle input. It's going to automatically receive the value as an argument, and then I'm going to console log the value. Let us test this. Let's save this and let's test test. I'm going to go to the console, start typing. It's not working. I guess we need to refresh it. Let's type, and now it's working. Okay, add input. So this is it. We'll say let's expand this input val dot target dot value. Save, clear this, erase it here, refresh it. Why does it not want to refresh automatically? Hello. So this is our value. Let's delete it. So it's very simple. Nothing advanced is happening here. We have an input, we type in that input, and we capture the value here. Now we're going to say this dot search is equal to val dot target dot value, and it's going to assign everything that's coming in here to the search variable, and then we're printing the search variable under our input. Let's reload this. I wanted to keep the video short, but I tend to talk a lot. So let's say hello, and it's going to update it here live. So observe one thing here. As soon as I type, you can see what I'm typing on the right side, which is being printed there, right? I'm going to type hello. I'm going to type H. You know, see H on the right side as soon as I type it inside the input box. Let's cut it and let's decrease it a little. Yeah. Now the debouncing part comes in. What does debounce mean? Debounce, I explained debounce earlier. As soon as I'm gonna enter a value inside this input box, let's say H, we should have a delay before it gets printed here. Alright, we should have a small delay of like, let's say 500 milliseconds, or let's say 1 second, just to demonstrate it, just to show you guys that it's working. Okay, let's start by having a local variable. We'll call it debounce. You can call it anything you want. I'm just gonna call it debounce because it's a bit, you know, it makes sense. And I'm gonna say debounce is a null initially, and then as soon as handle input function fires, I'm gonna say this dot debounce. I'm gonna access the debounce variable, and I'm gonna assign something to it. And what am I gonna assign to it? It's gonna be a set timeout. A set timeout. I'm sure you guys have used set timeout before. Set timeout takes in a function and a delay, and that function runs after some delay, right? I'm gonna say set timeout. The function is this, and then there is a delay of 1 second, which is 1000. 1000 means 1 second, 1000 milliseconds, and I want this debounce to do something after 1000 milliseconds, and that's going to be assigning the value to search. Okay, it's going to get in the value and it's going to assign it to debounce, but after 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. And now I'm going to save this. I have to refresh it, and sorry for this, I have to refresh it, and now I'm going to type in H. You see, H is printing to the right side after 1 second. If I'm going to continue this like this, see, it's not working as expected, right? it was supposed to update the right side after 1 second, right? But it's not working as expected because the set timeouts are not getting cleared. Okay, so let me tell you this. I'm gonna type a word which has 5 characters in it. I'm gonna say HELLO. It's printed, right? Now I'm gonna type in a little slow. Like let's say after 500 milliseconds, not 1 second. I'm gonna say HELLO. It didn't wait for me to stop, right? On E, it already had printed HE. That happened because set timeouts are queued. And the first time I pressed H, my first set timeout was queued into the web API and it was set for execution. And then I pressed E and then L, and within that time 1 second passed and HE was printed. Okay, but we don't want that, right? We want to finish typing and then wait for 1 second and then execute our debounce. So how do we do that? So as soon as handle input fires, we're gonna clear our old set timeout. We don't have to do anything. It's just one line of code. We're gonna say clear timeout, and this timeout is gonna have a variable called this.debounce. Okay. Now let's save this. Let's refresh, and now I'm gonna dry run this piece of code here, and I'm gonna make you understand how it's gonna work. As soon as I type, clear timeout is gonna run first. It's gonna clear the debounce. Initially, debounce has nothing in it. It's null. It's gonna assign it a null value, and then line number 2 is gonna work. This dot debounce will be equal to a set timeout now. Okay. So as soon as I press H is printed on the right side after 1 second. But as soon as I start typing fast, every time the handle input runs, it's gonna clear the set timeout. It's gonna clear the debounce variable, and then it's gonna assign this debounce a set timeout again. So every time it's assigning a set timeout, it's clearing the old one. So because it's clearing the old one, we don't have anything in the queue now. Every time I press the keyboard, every time I press the key or type inside the input, it's a new set timeout every time. So as soon as I stop, I have the whole value that time. Let's say I typed this, this is a house. I stopped, right? And it was clearing all the old set timeouts when I was typing. And as soon as I stopped on the word, or the letter E, it got the whole value. This is a house. And then it assigned that value to the search variable and it executed the debounce after 1000 milliseconds. And if I delete everything, it's not going to delete it abruptly. It's going to wait for 1 second and then erase the right side. You see? That's how debounce works. As soon as you stop typing, it runs the code. It is continuously clearing the old timeouts when you're typing. And then as soon as you have the whole value, it is going to assign it to the search variable, and then we are able to see it on the right side. Now it will be more clear for you guys if I showed it to you like this. Let me take this value and print it here. Now watch what happens. Just watch. I'm going to refresh. I am going to clear this now. Look at the console and look at the right side. Okay. I'm going to say this is a house. You see? Here, when I stopped typing, I had the full string. And then this full string was taken and assigned to the search variable after 1000 milliseconds. We can have it for 350 also, like just to give a feel of speed to the user. And this is the ideal set timeout limit. This is the ideal debounce limit. A delay of 350 ms is ideal. people don't do it for 1 second. I did it for 1 second just to show you guys how debounce works. But ideally it should be 350, or depending on your use case. But ideally it's 350. Let's do this is, oh my god, what's happening? This is a house. Okay, it's a bit quicker this time. Sorry for the keyboard smashing sound. That's how debounce works. I hope you guys learned something new. I smashed my keyboard for you guys. Now you have to smash the like button and the share button too. And please smash the subscribe button too. It motivates me to create more videos, spend some time around YouTube, and create something for you guys so that you guys can learn something. I really want to, you know, teach you guys and share the knowledge that I have. I've been working in this field since a very long time now, and I want to share the industry level knowledge with you guys, like how stuff works in the industry. It's not that course which teaches you, okay, this is a for loop and stuff like that. I don't want to teach you guys that. I want to teach you something which is used in the industry, and I want to teach you a concept which you can use in your day-to-day process and your day-to-day job. You know, that's what I'm trying to do here. So please subscribe, like, and share the video if you guys learned something. Thank you for watching. See you until next time. Bye bye.